about women's place in the society where we live, even if you are a woman. But when we talk about women's position in our society, we always find it on another level than men it is. Sometimes we talk about social inequalities of women, giving an example of political rights or comparing the wives with housemates. But is it really inequalities or just our imagination? What do you feel about it?
Well, first of all, I think I want to mention that the perspectives and the views that I discuss, I share with you represents me.
Yeah, so it's subjective.
Not as
Absolutely.
Asian American woman. Yeah, so that's that. The inequalities, I have to say that I do see that. Whether that's, workplace or within the society in general. So I don't think it's an imagination. So based on, I don't know, I've lived in the U.S. for the last 20-something years. Based on my experience, I do see the inequalities.
Okay. So being an Asian American woman, from the personal experiences, do you feel that your work position is unequal to American women? And if so, in what ways, basically? And did it actually ever help you in your work to be an
Asian American woman? I think part of it is, first there's inequalities between men and women.
Absolutely.
And then there's inequalities, and then from there there's also inequalities among minority ethnic groups. So it's sort of like a double whammy. In other words. What was the question?
Well, if it ever helped you in your
How it helped in my work being an Asian American? I don't know. I've never...
Maybe experienced it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do see that there's glass ceiling in terms of opportunities or, things like that at workplace.
So Asian women are the example of strength, submission, noblessness, fidelity, self-denial, good mother and good housewife. Do you feel that these characteristics suit your personality? Or do you feel in any way different with your women colleagues in USA?
I see some of the qualities in the examples that you gave. I see some of the qualities that I recognize, but that's not I don't think that's a whole representation of Asian women's characteristics, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I could be, I could be a good mother, but at the same time, I don't necessarily have to be a good housewife. Okay. I think what society sees, just the general characteristics of Asian American women are that they're very submissive and they're not, they're very quiet and they're doing what they're told. But, as you meet other Asian American women, that's not
the case.
Right. So I think it really depends on personality and how they're raised and things
absolutely.
Like that.
So, do you feel like you work more time than others around you, the other women around you, or is it is commonly known that Asian people are viewed as hard workers, but don't you feel that it's a bit exaggerated?
I think it could be, one of the stereotypes. There are people who work hard who are not Asian American. There are people who doesn't work who are Asian American. So I think it's stereotype. Of course, within the culture, work ethics is considered to be very important within the culture, and that maybe the upbringing or whatever. But it could be just as stereotypical as, oh, Asians are good at math, which is not the case with every Asian.
Okay. And so one of the last questions is, have you ever felt that men look at you differently than they look at American women?
That was kind of funny.
So, did you have positive feeling about it, or it's basically it is known that Asian women are portrayed as being exotic, and did this exoticism ever help you? So how? Or did you have negative experiences?
No, I don't think it's like, for example, it was kind of weird to hear that the first time Asian women are exotic, because I never thought of it that way. But then exotic, like, what is your definition of exotic? Does it connotate in sexual setting, or what does that mean?
Well, it depends. It cannot be described in one way. So.
Yeah. So that's something.
But I think that everybody sees it in different ways.
Right. I think I kind of have, like, I see it as exotic as something that's different from them. So certainly, yeah, when I look at other people from different culture or different background that are different from me, it can be looked upon as, oh, that's exotic. So I think that may be like a connotation that picked up. I don't know how it all began using that word, but maybe it just got picked up as something, a connotation that I don't recognize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
That's it?
That's it. Thank you.
Sure.